And good day, listeners from around the world. This is the Wide World of Motorsports podcast. This episode was recorded for the week of February 14th, 2021. And here I am with co-host Mike. Let's kick it all off here today. There's some news in IMSA and some good news. Jimmy and the 48 coming back for some future events. What's up with that, Mike?
Yeah, so apparently, it was rumored for a little bit, or there was talk about them running the 48 Allied
Action Express
Cadillac for Action Express. They were going to run the entire Michelin Endurance season, which is 4 races, obviously starting at Daytona with the 24, and then they go to Sebring for the 12, Watkins Glen for the 6, and then they finish up at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta for Petite, right? So yeah, they're talking about it. That's what they're going to do. They're going to run all 4 of those races, which is awesome because that means we get to see Jimmy race in a couple more races.
Yeah, I guess that includes Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, to
unless
add
something.
That car to,
Unless something schedule-wise comes up, but what?
Yeah, and to be completely honest with you, I haven't compared the IMSA schedule to the IndyCar schedule
because they don't race every weekend in Indy, right? So
no, they don't, and we're only talking about 4 races.
Yeah,
and to be honest with you, those are 4 big races. So IndyCar and IMSA purposely try not to race against each other, right? Because we see a lot of those IndyCar guys come over to IMSA, right? We saw Alexander Rossi was there, Scott Dixon was at the Rolex, what's his name? Colton Herta was there. You typically do get to see some IndyCar stars at the big races. So,
and they did say that I'm reading here that they are good on any conflicts with the 4 drivers. So,
yeah, so
they checked into it apparently.
Sure.
Yeah. So wow, that's awesome. Well, for me, obviously, that's a little biased because I'm a Jimmy fan, but that's freaking awesome.
I'm just a car count fan, right?
Yeah,
so
that too, I guess. Just something different
car count
in a
there.
way.
That car was competitive. They finished second, right, at the Rolex.
Yep, and I don't think with that sponsor too, with Ally, just if they're going to come back on, I don't know, but
they said it was that car, like the Ally or Ally.
So it brings in another sponsor.
Which is great,
and they're they do online. They do phone. You can go on your phone and do banking. That's kind of what their thing is. Yeah, it's one of those.
It's. I can tell you, it's a hell of a lot cheaper to go IMSA road racing than it is NASCAR. I guarantee you, it's cheaper for them to run 4 races as a sponsor than go Cup racing and have.
Even though with that with Bowman
still on the car, yeah,
it still looks cool. I guess they still have maybe Ally's trying to increase their presence in motorsports somehow. Wonder if they'll do anything with him with Jimmy's IndyCar endeavors. I don't know how many races Carvana's in, but it wouldn't surprise me. Carvana, whatever you want to call it.
I wouldn't doubt that you'll see them on the car for Jimmy in IndyCar.
That's pretty cool.
I don't know, how could they not run?
Yeah. And then so what's with the GT AM series?
Yeah, so this is the other big part of what's happening, and I believe we talked about it back with GTLM and where that's going. The series is older, and that's the Corvettes, the BMW M8s, the Porsche 911 GT3 RSRs. What was the other one? the Ford GTs ran in it, but they're not in it now. So IMSA's kind of taken the lead on it, and they're kind of copying some of the other series that run GT3 around the world, and they're going to have a GT3, a GTD Pro, and a GTD AM, which is kind of a big deal. So one of the things about GTD has always been they don't want or don't like manufacturer involvement. So they don't want factory teams to come into that class and dominate. It was set up to be a pro-am category, a GT, for gentleman drivers. But with GTLM, not really. It's weird. It's almost as if it's been up in the air for a little bit, and nobody knew what to do, and everybody was just waiting for somebody else to do something. And I think IMSA just said, okay, we're going to do it. So they're going to have the pro category, which is going to have, you don't have to be a pro to run in a pro class, which is interesting. You don't have to have that pro designation. And you would have seen that back in, 5 years ago in DPI. There was a few guys that ran in the top class of prototypes that weren't pros, but were not bad. But anyways, but I think what you'll see more factory teams coming in. Somebody talked about Aston Martin coming and possibly doing a factory effort, or trying to do a factory effort. Bentley, even though Bentley's not taking care of their GT3 or running a factory GT3 team anymore, they've cut back on that stuff. They're still supporting customer teams, so you might get. There's been talk about having a heavily supported customer team for Bentley in GTD. So that's really cool. But then you'll still have the GTD AM, which will have more of your gentleman drivers, your Pro-Am category, kind of what it is now. So that's kind of really big, and there's some manufacturers that are really, really happy about it, and some drivers, and there's some that aren't. I think the happy drivers and the happy manufacturers outweigh the ones that aren't happy, and I think that's why IMSA, went with this decision.
So there's a lot of the European manufacturers. So Bentley, that'll be cool to see.
Yeah, that would be.
I think that's a good thing. It doesn't hurt to. That's probably a good thing to see more manufacturers get involved.
Oh, of course. That means the series is doing something right. When manufacturers say, "Hey, we want to build a car and we want to come, play with you guys."
What would they drive? What are their coupes or whatever?
Continental.
Okay.
Continental GT. Yeah, look it up right now. If you get a chance, look it up. It's a beautiful car, the new one. They just won the 12 Hours of Bathurst last year. No,
sure. I recognize. Yeah, I recognize it. Okay.
Yeah,
sure.
It's a great looking car.
Nice. Some nice European vehicles.
Yeah, that's, and you're seeing lots of manufacturers express interest in IMSA. Especially with the new LMDH rules coming out, because they're very big on customer racing, that class. So IMSA's doing a lot of the right things. It's quite amazing. I think they're doing really good. So that's a really big
for a next season. So all this would be like a next season deal, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Still got a whole season of that to develop for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and
we're just only going into the second race with that'll be cool. A nice little mid-March.
Mm-hmm.
Some endurance.
Sebring 12-hour. That'll be a good one.
As usual, respect the bumps, right?
Yeah, hashtag respect the bumps, yeah, for sure.
Who runs their Twitter? They do a lot of trash talking. I don't know if you've seen it. They were talking trash on the Daytona being rained out because They showed a picture of like pit road being flooded, absolute flood, and they're doing like a driver change. It's
really?
It's like respect the bumps. They do that for like, they were doing it for a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. So they have, I don't know if you got to check out their Twitter. Like, there's a lot of there's a lot of trash talk from the Sebring's Twitter. But yeah, so
that Florida rivalry, I guess.
Yeah. But so that would be, yeah. So nothing really else going on other than that with IMSA, with F1, with Indy. Going into more. So, did you get a chance to look at the Pinty series schedule?
I did, and I'm
a little disappointed.
I can't remember it.
We'll go through it here. For people listening, Canadian-based NASCAR series. Last season, they ran 6-race abbreviated schedule due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and there's some more effects of that as well going into this season. But they will run 12 races at 8 different tracks, so they'll still be able to get 12 races in. And but they're going to be doing some race. They're going to do multiple like events in one day, so they'll do one or two, or maybe. I think there's one that's in the same weekend or something. I think they're all on the same day, but last season there won't be a champion. This season there will, so it's all good. So Jukasa has hosted the season finale every year since it came back in 2017. So that's something that's normal.
That's good.
And it will be the second race, which has been for a while. But unfortunately this year the first race won't be at Mosport. It'll be at Sunset Speedway in Innisfil, Ontario on Sunday, May 23rd. Up by that's up by you, right?
Yeah, that's not far away from me. That's only 45 minutes, I think.
That's pretty good. Damn. Yeah, that's about 2.5 hours for me somehow. Apparently, it's I don't know how it's further to drive there than to drive to Mosport. I looked it up. Not sure how that works. Maybe I screwed something up on it. But the second race of the season, Saturday, June 19th, Jukasa Motor Speedway. As I said, Sunday, July 18th at Flamborough. So I'll be hoping to, because I'm somewhat close to Flamborough, so I'll be trying to look out for that one. And then they go over to Quebec Circuit Trois-Rivières, and they'll be running that Sunday, August 15th. So that's about almost a month, about 3 weeks since in between. So they're going to have some time off again, just like they usually did. And then back to Ontario, which I'll try to go to, the Ohsweken Speedway for the first NASCAR Pinty Series race on dirt. And it could have been one of the first NASCAR races in general back on dirt for some of the series, depending on what series you follow. But obviously with Bristol being in March, people will get a glimpse of the NASCAR's cars on dirt. But Ohsweken, though, that'll be really sweet to see. Getting ready to get dirty for that one. Saturday, August 28th, Circuit I-Car in Quebec. And then the 29th, so a day later at Autodrome Chaudière. So they will be racing. Clearly a day after one of their road races, and I believe Chaudière, if I'm not mistaken, is an oval track, and it looks awfully dark whenever I watch it on TV. It's that dark one with the green walls, I believe. I haven't really seen many races from Chaudière, but so then back to Ontario, Sunday, September 5th at Mosport. At
my birthday weekend.
There you go. Hopefully we'll see you there. Get you some brews. Some brewskis.
For sure.
And then Saturday, September 25th, Jukasa Motor Speedway, and it'll be twin feature races, just off of the Grand River. in Hagersville, Ontario. So just up the river from where I live, or sorry, down river from where I live. We'll be looking forward to that season. Try to get to as many as those as I could. Wish I could get to that season already. Hoping I could. It's a bit of a mission. I'm personally missing Toronto. I'm upset Toronto isn't in there, because that was my for sure in to the IndyCar weekend, even if I didn't get through to the IndyCar people for passes. Right. So much for potentially stalking Jimmy Johnson and getting an interview with him. So that's out the window. I'm a little disappointed about that, but
next year. Good
to see a legit schedule though, and not sure if we'll be able to even go to them depending on the protocols. So, but of course, we'll obviously try to cover it as best as we can. We had last season we had a couple drivers on, so that was good enough, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they were doing five more tracks this year than last year, right? They did 3 tracks last year. It
was like a challenge. It was the Fan Cave Challenge.
Yeah,
it was a challenge.
So it's nice. It's nice to see more tracks on the schedule.
A legit season.
Hopefully, a more legit season. Some people might be upset that they're not going to be at Mosport.
Yeah, it was always a good weekend.
It is, but you know what? I think that's because there's not going to be any racing that weekend at Mosport. I think.
It's a little soon, even from where we're standing, where we live in Ontario, with the situation of the pandemic. That's even with it being halfway through February. That seems too soon to where things are. If hopefully things will just be opening, just kind of like last year. I bet you things will just be a couple weeks after it would have been that weekend. I'm sure things will be looking a little better like it did last year, but hard to tell, so.
Well, yeah, and they're not, they usually run with the SRO up there, right? With what would have been Pirelli World Series championship, but it's it's just SRO Americas. It's probably just not it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Oh, I've since then I wasn't too happy that day, but I got over it. I was like, oh well, can't go to every season opener and can't get every interview and can't get everyone on the show. Like, it's just not possible. So I'm going to build a bridge to get over that for sure.
You've been doing pretty good though. So
yeah, it was tough. That was a tough season last season. Season 3 was tough, but we got you on board though, so we're good.
Awesome.
So did you watch any of the Speed Week Daytona NASCAR? I think it's still Speed Weeks, damn it. They're still in Daytona, so they're still there for another week. So did you see any of this past week, the first week of Speed Weeks?
Yeah, I did. I did a lot of it watching on, watching highlights, updates. I've been busy.
How about the Clash?
Road
racing with lights.
With lights, I thought it was good. I mean, I really like the Cup cars on that track. I think it's cool. I know that Dale Jr. didn't like that they ran the Clash on the road course.
But as far as I know, that was the first night race road course in NASCAR history. I mean, I can't, other than it got dark last year at one of, forget, it was the Xfinity or something like that. It was getting pretty dark at Roval. But
didn't they run the dark in Japan? Or was that just on the oval?
I thought
no, that was just.
I thought they ran. Yeah, I think they ran when the sun was out at the road course.
Yeah. No, you're right.
But they. Oh, that's interesting. I thought that was cool within itself. Is like, because it was brighter than it was usually for the Rolex. Like, it was the lights are probably full on. Like,
yeah, they don't run the stadium. Don't run the lights. They don't run the lights full bore for the IMSA series.
So it was just weird seeing like them race on road courses, the road course so it was so bright because I don't think they had any issues seeing in the infield.
No, well, I mean, they got it. It has to be that bright, right? They don't have headlights.
Yeah.
You know,
And some of them really
IMSA
need to see,
headlights.
like, some of those drivers for some reason have issues, because like there can be drivers that can race in dark conditions.
Right.
But whatever. But like that was a crazy finish too. Like.
Yeah. What did you? We had a little talk. I messaged you, and we had a little chat about that move.
Wasn't too happy.
What did you think about it?
Well, I'm also a Blaney guy, so and my brother's a Chase guy, so I was staring right at his face. I was not happy. I was calling him a dick and stuff. I'm like, wow, like that was a prick move, I think. But it was. If there's a time to do it, I guess that was it. And for the clash to have an ending like that, and in a way, maybe Ryan opened the door, but you kind of expect that with the way they set up that final chicane there.
That's kind of how I look at it. I mean, it's with the stuff that NASCAR has been doing lately, and this isn't. I don't want this to come across as a criticism, or I don't want to, I don't want the show, even though I know it's your show, I don't want the show to become one of those negative places. But with the way NASCAR has been going with the things they're doing to quote unquote create excitement. With making sure that there's green, white checkers. We're not allowed to end under caution anymore. I mean, we've only did it since the beginning, but we can't do that anymore. And the whole idea of the chase and everything like that, NASCAR's really focusing on entertainment. And, it's an entertainment business.
It's almost perfectly set up to that final chicane. It's like, oh, we're just going to put this here and maybe something might maybe someone might get wrecked through here. Like, okay, I see what you guys are doing, but it worked.
Exactly. It did exactly.
You can't mess with madness sometimes, right? It's like,
no.
Yeah, I understand.
And I get why it's there. I mean, I think there would be more issues if the cars ran flat out from the bus stop all the way to turn one.
Yeah,
right?
They could probably do it.
They could do it, but I think they'd see more issues. So I think the chicane makes sense. And I wonder too if the chicane was put in, because maybe not anymore, but I remember when the Roval first came out, you wouldn't set up your car to be good on the entire track. The drivers were setting up the cars for the oval, right? Or focusing more time on having speed in the oval, because that's where you were going to make up all your time, not on the road course. And I wonder if they put that chicane in there in Daytona just to help with the idea to not be so aero focused. But like you and I said, did Blaney open the door? Yes. Did he
just
have
a
to
little
close it I think he did. Did he have to close it like that? No. Did Chase have to stuff it up the inside? No.
And then they both screwed themselves, and then Kyle got the win. And you know what? It's a good way to start the season for him. He didn't have the greatest season last season, and it's just a clash. At the end of the day, Chase and Blaney, they walked it off. They were good after the race, and at the end, it's just a clash too, right? So it's like a bragging rights race.
I think I would look at it differently if this was for a win. Like a points win. But then again, that being said,
apply that
NASCAR
to the 500.
Has set up the entire series to be that bump and run win, right? Because if you win, you make it to the playoffs, you get to run.
And look at Sunday with the 500, and with that, and with all the 500s that I've watched, that was the least entertaining, and I'd give it a 1 out of 5 any day of the week. But that last lap, going into turn 3, and with Joey putting on his blocking pants McGee, Brad Keselowski, like they're both. It's like Keselowski call them out directly on it because they're both bad for blocking, and that's kind of where they got. Like, I feel like that's look where you both got yourselves for doing that.
And it's funny because, like, I've been hearing a lot about the blocking, and part of me felt it. Like, did anybody notice the massive push McDowell was giving Keselowski into the third corner? Like, it almost, like, if you watch the replay again,
they were going for the win.
He's pushing him, right? And it's almost as if he gives them another shot right as they enter the corner, and it almost as if Brad wasn't expecting it, and it just launched him to the inside.
Yeah, that was and I guess they're kind of like an independent team with Front Row Motorsports and Bob Jenkins. So, like, with it being in 2001 with Michael Waltrip from DEI, and then 2011 with Trevor Bayne with Brothers, and then being able to see this happen, though, I think that, like, at the end of the day, I was like, okay, well, that sucked because my guy, Blaney, was out at the beginning of the race. Larson, he got a top 10 finish, but he was on the crappy end of that stick from that final lap, and I think that beginning of that big one at the beginning of the race, that set the tone for the rest of the race. Kyle, no doubt, Kyle gave a huge bump, and he ended up bumping into the 20, and then and then just took the 10, and then the 10 had a little bit issue with that, and I think that big one happened, and then there's 5 hours of a rain delay, and then I think I feel like people just wanted to get it done. Let's race a single file. Let's just go home. Let's bring it back here next week. And that's how I felt like it was. But nonetheless, though, I mean, it's cool to see that independent team get a 500, even though it's going to take up a spot in the playoffs, and that's probably an easy first round elimination, but we'll see.
Yeah, who really knows? Maybe they'll get that. Maybe that'll be momentum for them for the year. I mean, yes, it wasn't the most exciting Daytona 500 ever, that's for sure. I thought that massive wreck on lap 14 was, I don't know.
It was like, what the hell that was. But whatever.
Because, I would love to say that it was rust, but that was the fourth race that the drivers had done. Okay, the first race, maybe not the fourth race.
I see what you mean.
The third race.
Yeah.
They'd been on the track before.
Unfortunately, that practice was rained out on Saturday.
Yeah, no, and I'm not even talking about practice. I'm talking about, like, they had the Busch Clash. Okay, that was on the road course. But that would have shaken off the cobwebs, and then they had the two. They had qualifying, and then they had the two duels. So even in the duel, like, they raced. So this shouldn't have been new to them. But I mean, I don't know. What do you?
And I think that begs the question. And to wrap it up, I think we should ask. This should be the question of the week. And I'd like to see where viewers are at. We can elaborate on this through the season because there needs to be more practice, I think, in my opinion. There needs to be some race teams getting together and saying, hey, you know what, we could use some more practice, especially in a season like this when it's like it's like a new image. So I wonder where people think on that, and it's going to be interesting to see balancing the safety of COVID and honestly trying to work on your craft. You should be able to work on your skills, your skill set, and improve. So we'll see what happens, and I ask, leave it in the comments. We'll talk about it next episode.
Love it.
Drop us a line on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, and soon Twitter. Once we get through to Twitter, we can log in properly at the WWOMS in future episodes and past episodes of the Wide World of Motorsports podcast on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Facebook Watch, as well as YouTube. We would welcome you to stick around for episode 6 of the Mayhem Racing League podcast. It is up next right here on the Wide World of Motorsports podcast.
Hi, this is Alex Tagliani, NASCAR Pinty Series driver. You're tuned in from the track to the community on Wide World of Motorsports, the #1 motorsport show in the community.
Remember when I told all my drivers, reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time? Drivers, start your engine!
Hello, everybody. Welcome to The Pits, here for the Mayhem Racing League podcast, episode 6, recorded for the week of February 14th, 2021. Guys, got a little party here. Chilling in the pits after that Mazda race. How's it going, everybody?
Great. Going good.
Going great, thanks.
They're going good. Thanks for having us. Let's get the show rolling.
What's good today, Seth? What's on the show today?
Let's see. So on today, we'll be talking about season 2 champion. We got Brennan here. He was our season 2 Mazda Miata Mayhem season 2 champ. We'll talk about ARCA a little bit. We had a postponement due to the real Daytona 500 race. We'll get into talking about broadcasting some races. We got a special sponsor to come on board. And then we'll get into just some odds and ends about what's going on around the league and what's going to be happening soon with some new updated seasons coming. Some all-star race information that's coming up and some additional fun things that Mike Durfee has planned.
Sounds good. We got a good show today.
Absolutely. I want to kick off first. We have Marshall Harhay here. He's a little bit new to our leagues and running some races here recently with us. He's going to be coming on as a sponsor. He's got his own business. I'm going to kind of turn over to him, let him tell us about his business he's got going on and what he has to offer for us here and what his contribution is going to be. We appreciate having him.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Seth. I appreciate that introduction, and I really enjoy taking part in this league. I'm new to the league, and you guys have welcomed me, and really Tuesday nights have become one of the best nights of the week. Looking forward to competing with you guys. As some of you guys have seen, there's this paint job on one of the Miatas with the Club Jerky sponsorship on it, and funny enough, that's my business. So Club Jerky is a little business that we have over here that provides craft beef jerky subscriptions. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to give back to this league, and I'd like to come on board and sponsor the Mayhem League and offer up a little bit of a bonus to the winner of the season by providing them with a Club Jerky beef jerky subscription.
That's awesome.
And yeah, so get just a little added trophy, an edible trophy, if you will. So yeah, I'd like to go ahead and do that for us here.
Oh, that sounds so good. What kind of jerkies do you got? What kind of flavors do you got?
Oh man, we've got everything from the plain old cowboy to the teriyaki. We've got lime and serrano, the Nashville hot, the Carolina killer, you name it, we got it. Korean barbecue. Really, what we do is we focus on brands of craft jerky providers from all across the country. We scour the country, look for different makers of beef jerky, stuff that you can't find in a gas station or a grocery store, and get it out to our members. So it's been a lot of fun. I'll tell you what, probably the best part about the gig is getting to eat free beef jerky because they send us so many samples.
I bet.
Nice. Clubjerky.com.
Yeah, it's over there at clubjerky.com. Check us out. And if you got any questions, let me know. And if you inquire from our Facebook page or send us an email, I'll send you back a special promo code to get you a discount on your first order over there.
Nice.
That is awesome. Well,
make sure to link that to our Facebook page and also throw up a decal so we can throw them on our cars. I know I want to throw one on my car.
You got it, guys. Yeah, and that's what's fun about this is using the trading paint service and customizing the car to look like you got a sponsor. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, I'll definitely do that and do that in the Facebook group. And if you want the logo, I'd love to have you to wear it for me.
Awesome. That's much appreciated. And I don't know if Brennan likes jerky, but he's season 1 and 2 champs. Looks like he's getting free jerky again.
Might have to buy your whole stock.
Yeah, it'll be interesting come the last race of the season. If we got a close point battle, last lap, last turn, who's going to take that jerky?
Mouth will be watering going down the back straight.
It has been close battles so far.
Yeah, look, I'm going to wreck you all for beef jerky.
Yeah. Now it's serious. Gloves are off now, boys.
Yeah.
So speaking of championship with the beef jerky being handed out, we got Brennan, who was our season 2 champ. Came down to the wire, but he pulled it off. Came down to the last race, which we had a Lime Rock, which was a great battle. Strong Langton won the race. Brennan was able to hold on to his tail to secure that points win. Why don't you talk about the season a little bit, Brendan, and the points run to repeat as champ?
Yeah, it really was quite the season. I can't believe season 1 with Joey Campbell again, just such a close battle the whole season. And then going into season 2, I was expecting the same because I just know that you guys are top level drivers. And with Sean right behind me every single race, and then when he was in front of me, I just couldn't get by him. And that's how the whole season went, really. And going down to that last race definitely wasn't the way I planned on finishing the season, but I won it nevertheless, 2 points, and yeah, a bit hectic.
Yeah, it was a great battle all season. I know a lot of us were calculating the points because we had one drop race in there. We knew it was going to come down to that last race. And congratulations on being season 2 champ as well. I know you're making a run now to repeat for season 3.
Yeah, I'm starting behind for season 3 because of that wreck on race 1, but working my way back up. Just won the second race at Daytona, and yeah, we'll see how the rest of the season goes. Hopefully that drop week will help me out, but can't crash anymore this season, so got to keep my head down and focus on the road ahead.
Yeah, and I think the new points system we got going on is definitely going to help out. It's a little more spacing in between the races, the points system at least, and the drop week should make a big difference. We'll see what happens. I'm looking at the standings now. Even though you had a bad race, you're still there in the top, and you're still making a good run. So hopefully it'll work out for you. I know you got some guys hunting you down.
Yeah, another tough season ahead, but hopefully it ends like the first 2 halves. So we'll see.
So I know we got 2 races down in Mazda. We just did Daytona tonight, Daytona Road, which was a great race. Brandon actually took the win in that race tonight, so that's helping his cause, and he got the bonus points. Definitely a cool finish. He got some bonus points for leading the most laps as well, which is going to help him climb back into it. I know the ARCA series I want to touch on real quick. We had our ARCA race postponed. The real Daytona 500 had a rain delay, and it was going to kind of affect our attendance for ARCA. So ARCA race did not go off last week. If you guys missed it on Sunday, it will be this coming Sunday. It will be our big Daytona kick off the season ARCA series, which will be starting up an 18-race season coming up.
That was a good call, delaying that. And that fun run we did there, that almost kind of reminded me a bit of like a little clash we had there. And even it was just 6 or 7 of us, that run on Sunday night, it was fun. And especially as we were waiting for the race to come back on in real life, I think that was really cool. Just to kind of get some of that out of us. I wanted to get that racing in, so being able to, I think it was Wallace and Guarino. It really came down to us there, and came down to some strategy. That was a real fun race, hella fun. Easy for me to say because I won it, but
yeah, putting it out there too. I know we did some qualifying for that race as well. I know Jordan, you're actually the point leader right now, technically in the series, even though we don't run a race. You won one of the heat races and you run the clash we had. So you're up by 5 points. You got a 5-point total right now. So the qualifying is going to be new qualifying for the next race. We couldn't set the grid the way we thought we would. Jordan will be on the front row along with Thomas Eggleston. They'll be the front row guys. We'll get them up there. And the rest is going to be an open qualifier for the race on Sunday.
So we're just going to run around to the front kind of thing, or how's that going to work on Sunday?
Yeah, we'll have you guys not qualify and then just run you to the front and so you don't affect any positions, and we'll clear the black flags once we get going. Long straights, I'll have time to clear the black flags out. We'll have some helpers there to help us out as well.
Okay. Who do you think, just quick for that, like who do you got picked in your mind? Who do you think's going to really be good in ARCA this season?
Geez, I'd say myself, but that'd be a lie. No, honestly, it's going to be a really. I don't have any front runners in mind. I think Joey Campbell's a pretty good fit in that one. I know Sean's a real good racer as well. There's 18 race season. I think there's 5 or 6 road courses. So the road courses are going to make a big difference, I feel, in that series. If you're able to run the road and in an ARCA car, especially, definitely going to help your cause. It's open for anybody to join. Anybody can jump in anytime they want to race. If you're in the league, just jump in and run. It's going to be a long season, but it's actually a 14 race season. And then the last 4 races of the year will be a reset for the points championship, which will be a tier 1 and tier 2. I know we talked about that last episode.
My pick's Thomas Eggleston. I don't know. I'm bad with names, but man, he flew in that Daytona 500 race we had for the Mazdas. Took home our championship for that. So he's one to look for in this one.
I'll put my money on Guarino. I was going to say Dave Guarino. I'm going to put my money on him. He's going to be my horse.
Hopefully, if he shows up hopefully he'll be able to show up to most of them. And usually around that time, I think he's good to go. So,
yeah, if he can make the races, he'll be one to watch.
Mm-hmm. And then moving on here, so We were some chat about broadcasting some races potentially, and that you got some ways to do that. You found some technology to make it possible.
Yes, we're looking at. I've been looking into doing live broadcasting of Mazda races and ARCA at least to start. If we do hire a broadcaster, I got to get some price checks on those. $10 to $15 a race. That's going to be a little bit expensive. Adding up there, if guys are interested, we could put a pool together, get some money going on in there, and get some broadcasting up. If not, I did find a way we can do the broadcasting. We would try to do the broadcasting and record it the day after the race, with a couple of us on board, where we can share screens and kind of do that, and we'll get the races up. If guys are interested in that, maybe we'll try that first as a free option. It may be fun to have some special guests on, like we do the podcast, and kind of talk racing while we're doing it, and just kind of shoot the breeze while we're racing as well, and watching the race and laying it out. We'll have that coming up next couple of weeks. I'm working on that. Working on getting maybe one or two guys who want to be not dedicated to it, but want to take part routinely, I guess you can call it, in that, and maybe they can help out and kind of become regulars and maybe get their skills down and get some guys that are good at it.
And I heard Sean kind of called a bit of the end of the Daytona road course Mazda Miata race today. He was calling that last couple turns there. I think there are probably a couple guys that might have some broadcasting chops in our league.
Yeah, absolutely. I like when guys get excited and kind of talk on the radio what's going on, because I was so far back I couldn't see it, so I enjoyed hearing it.
Yeah, that'll be something cool to try out, that's for sure.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know Brendan was in the action. Maybe he was listening to the play-by-play behind him as well.
Yep. Made me put the pedal down a little bit harder.
Oh, Charlie, you still there with us? I want to bring you in.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
So you've come on board as part of our admin group. Congratulations coming into that group. You've been a big part of this league since the start. You've got obviously the passion that everybody desires and wants. You're one of the top committed guys here, racing week in, week out, putting the time in, improving, and I just want to commend you on that and kind of welcome you aboard to the admin group, helping us to form the league and keep it moving in the right direction.
I was very, I was taken back when you guys offered that to me. I'm impressed, and I know I love this league a lot. I have a passion for the Miatas. I dabble in some of the other series, but Miata is where my heart lays, and I really appreciate being brought on to be part of the team that comes up with some ideas.
Yeah, I just want to commending you and just saying that you're the kind of the attitude you put out there and your passion for it's exactly what the league's all about helping out, being nice, welcoming guys, and just basically everybody having fun, becoming kind of a friendly group, becoming friends for the most part, and just having a blast and enjoying racing together.
Yeah, I love it. I like watching Jordan's podcast, the races. That's where I get to watch everyone. But guys like Marshall coming on, right away, feeling the love, bringing on, wanting to be a sponsor. David Ankenbauer, when he came in, got right into the company out there. So lots of good stuff, and I just love being a part of this.
Yeah, it's good to have you on the podcast. This is your first appearance, apparently.
Yeah, there's been a couple attempts. I think the first one, I might have just been afraid, or I was up north or something. And then the last time, I think I might have had too many margaritas, so you wouldn't want to.
Hey, what's nothing wrong with that? We got to have a podcast like that for one time at least. Try it out.
Wall was falling over. It was pretty bad.
You weren't racing. You weren't on iRacing too that night, were you?
I was, because I think it was a in between seasons thing.
Okay. Showing up to our races, I'm sure some of our members would totally tell if you're driving drunk, but.
It has happened in some official races, but that's one of the things I've kind of tapped myself on the back for in this Miata series. I've yet to miss a race. I came close one night. I was working down near Boston, and I made it home with about 5 minutes to spare. So I try to never miss it. I hope I never miss one, and I'd like to keep that going.
Nice, absolutely, sounds good. So yeah, it's good to have you. Good to have you come out, Charlie, and you're also, I know you're just a race fan in general. We've been chatting lately during some of the NASCAR races, so definitely a guy we can trust.
Yeah, I love the smell of rubber and expensive gas.
Some Sunoco racing fuel.
I just want to touch too on Charlie has found a new passion with the Mazda cars. He's been updating us all and telling us about the Global MX5 series that's going on, and he's kind of into it. And I know he's been posting some stuff in the league, and it's real interesting racing. If you guys want to get into that and watch that, I know Brendan's a fan of it as well, and he's been watching it and knows a lot about it. So something interesting and new that if you're racing our Mazda series here, there's actually the real series out there you guys can watch and get into.
You know, it's funny, Seth. I think if you hadn't found me in the beginning of this league's conception, that I don't even know if I would have found the MX5 Cup the way I did. I would have seen it at the Rolex, but it's because of this league that I was able to really start researching it and found a league that I'd like to get out there and see in live person.
Yeah, and even sometimes some of the racing, at least for that first couple of races at Daytona, it definitely seemed like it could have been one of our own league races.
Yeah, some actually looks like iRacing.
Yeah,
looks like us.
That's what I liked about it, and it was from the front to the back, racing happening everywhere. It was, you listen to the broadcasters, and they're even impressed. The ones that haven't really seen that league yet are like, "Wow, this is some racing here everywhere."
Yeah, there's a lot of passionate guys in our group, and I've noticed there's some strong competitors that I'm learning a lot of stuff from. So
yeah, there's some guys that really know racing and can help anybody out who wants to come ask any questions. We got some guys that are real good, and they'll definitely work with you and help you out and help you improve.
And one of the great things about iRacing is that all these real-world drivers are on iRacing because they know it's the best motorsports simulator out there. And if you look in the hosted sessions, maybe a week before a real-life Global MX5 race, it's full of the real-life Global MX5 drivers practicing for their upcoming race. Mm-hmm. And sometimes they're open to the public, and you can go and drive with them on iRacing and kind of play a role in their practice for the upcoming real life race. And I think that's, I get like geeked out over that stuff because I'm helping a real life driver practice for his big race. So another great thing about iRacing.
Yeah, there's definitely the odd name you can recognize into the hosted sessions, and up here there's the Radical Cup series that comes to Mosport, and I'll always notice the Mosport lobby, and I'll hop in it because you don't see it much, and I'll race it whenever I can. So yeah, and there's some real life guys in there that you would not even think that you'd probably see on the internet. On iRacing doesn't have a lot of people. But there's definitely a good chunk of people on there as of late since it's gotten more popular, and I'm definitely noticing some big names once in a while, and it's like, whoa, like I geek out. It's like I take a screen cap I try to make sure that I drive past them, and I get a screen cap and I'll get it printed out and stuff like that. I don't know if it's really weird, but maybe one day I'll get it signed by them or something like that.
I was in
a truck race with Chad Canals once, and I basically watched the whole thing from the pits because I was too afraid to wreck them.
It's definitely not weird to print out all that stuff. Like I said, I've got all of my Mayhem Racing League newspaper clippings. I've got all those up on my fridge in the garage. So I like to look at those every day. But yeah, nothing weird about that. I don't know.
A real quick hit on that, Brendan. Speaking of the news post that Seth puts out, I'm trying to work on putting together basically like a league. I don't know, like a little, not a magazine really, but like a
scrapbook.
Kind of list the drivers. Yeah, a little scrapbook of all those things, a little bits of screenshots from the things. I'm working on trying to get it printed right now, but the problem is I'm trying to figure out printers want vector, and we don't have a lot of our stuff in vector, but I'm learning that, so that might come along.
Nice.
Yeah, I think this league is going to the moon.
Hell yeah, I'm printing out all my newspapers.
And we got some more stuff too coming on the way, and just before we were rolling here, it's interesting to hear Durfee was listening to apparently last week's episode, and with the Solstice series potentially coming up.
So I think I'm going to go ahead with it. You guys psyched me up for it more than I was on the fence and listened to that podcast, and I was like, hell with it. We should do it. So the Solstice Series is going to open for Mazda for 7 out of the races remaining on the schedule, and it'll probably open on an alternative track before the All-Star race. But 7 of the races will open at the same track as we run Mazdas. We'll run that at 7:30 right up until the start of Mazda practice. And the first race is going to be at Lime Rock on March 2nd.
Nice.
I think the plan with that, Mike, will be the same as we're doing street stocks. We'll go with an hour-long session. Is that correct on that? That way we're finished up in time?
Yeah, we're actually, I mean, I love how Sean set up that local legend series. So we're going to go with the half-hour qualifier, half-hour race. Run it right up till the finish.
Nice.
Right up till Mazda start.
Yeah, and I will have a few adjustments that people can make on the cars, right, prior to race time.
Yeah, I mean, Mazda's pretty much all you can change is, the toe in, toe out, tire pressure. Or not Mazda's, sorry, Solstice. It's so minimal. I wish there was a few more, but it'll be a good way to get people to get used to adjusting cars. And if they can't, they're still not going to be too far off the pace.
Right, we'll help them out with anything. If you guys want to ask questions or need some help, just throw it out there and ask, and we'll definitely help you out.
And if people want to upload a setup or something like that to the Mayhem Racing League Facebook page, I know there's a way that you can post documents and stuff through there and check back for their I know there's some past setups on there. So usually there's someone out there that wants to just throw out their setup. They don't mind sharing. So
yeah, I'll share whatever I have anytime to help anybody out.
But I definitely would want to learn I would definitely want to learn how to figure it out, though, because I look at the setup page, and it's like, whoa, sometimes it's overwhelming. But really, there's a lot of simple stuff in there, and I know there's guys in the league that'll totally help. So
nice. Yep, that and the local legends is also the only other open series. We're thinking about moving that to Wednesdays, hoping we get a few more people. I know you normally do your podcasts on Thursdays, so hoping you can get in that one.
Yeah, we should be good. I'm switching over to actually doing the Sundays, so that shouldn't be an issue. So usually the Sunday nights work best for me. And coming up this Sunday, though, I'm going to be looking forward to that. I know the Street Stock Season 2 isn't over just yet, and I think that there's at least one more race on that season.
We've got 2 more to go in street stocks.
Got to get that over. Can't wait till the next season starts.
Yeah, I know you're planning that one. You got that one all ironed out, waiting to get the schedule up. But we got two more races left, and we'll have a week or 2 off, and we'll get kicked off for the next season. I just got all the top 10 stickers came in, so we'll get those out to the guys who finish in the top 10 at the end of the year, and we'll get something good for season 3. Will be, and I think, right?
Yep. Yeah, that'll be good for sure.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up now. That series as well is going to come down to the wire. Seems like every season we've had has come right down to the last race, to the last couple.
Who's it coming down to?
I'm bringing it up now. I know Sean Langton's leading. I believe he's still in the lead in that series. Yeah, 2 races. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Donald Hickson has the lead. Sean missed a race. So Hickson's in the lead at 314 points. Jesse Elliott's second at 313, and Sean Langton at 311. They're all within 3 points, and that's anything can happen in that series.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to stay on their way.
Yeah, and the last 2 races of the year on that one are USA, which is next Sunday, and then we go to Legacy Phoenix for the last race. Last race of the year on the Oval. Those standings might be shaken up a little bit.
I don't think we've had any blowouts yet. God, it came down to the last 10 laps and local legends.
Yeah, every race has come down. Every series, I should say, has come down to the last race of the year, I believe, or close to it.
And as we start to wrap up this episode in the next 5 minutes, I want to kick around some ideas here. If anyone's got some ideas, pitch it out. But first, I want to say, what would everyone think about maybe some more recruitment races? Not that there's a concern of not enough people, but just to continue getting fresh faces, kind of thing, not just kind of put on the back burner. Is that something that would be a good idea, you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'll speak up on that one first. I think it is. I think bringing new guys in is always a good thing. I think it's a nature of the beast in iRacing that guys come and go. You kind of get your core group who sticks together. And I'm always open to get new guys in and get some new fresh guys, not fresh guys, but just new faces, the guys that want to race and guys that want to be part of our group and see the same outlook at what we see, and just have a, additional guys is great.
I know I've been in a couple of official races where I've come across some guys that were really, really cool racers. They really kind of fit the character that makes up this whole league, and I've given them the Mayhem Racing League to go check out and see if they come in. I haven't seen anyone come in that way, but when I see a good guy, I try to pass the information along.
And anybody in the league, reach out to friends, whoever else in iRacing. Feel free to invite anybody at any time if you feel they meet the standard, I guess you can say, for what we're looking for. Definitely invite anybody.
Yeah, and who's to know? With a more upcoming series. I mean, we were just talking about how things being so close with the standings, and who knows? We might be able to see another guy that might take us all to school or something like that. And I wouldn't mind that at all, because there's a lot of you guys that I learned from, so I learn a lot.
Yeah, I'm always trying to follow the faster guy in front of me and read his line and learn from him. And then I go back and watch the replays. I know I've stated that before, and just try to learn and try to save some time and become quicker every week. And the nice part about the league is no matter what level you're at, every level's welcome. You're always going to find somebody in the track to race with. Whether you're in first or in last in our race, there's going to be somebody there to battle with, and definitely going to help you out, and you're going to have a lot of fun. You're not going to be left alone for the whole race running around the circles by yourself.
Yeah, it was nice of you guys today to give, even though I completely misunderstood what was going on, but even just for an example today in the road course race, even then, I made a mistake and you guys gave me a second chance. I think I was queued up already, so I didn't hear what you guys said, but I didn't know I was supposed to fall back, but I did anyway, actually. So, but yeah, if there's a lot of guys that'll give you a second chance for sure.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. We race by the rules and stick to the rules, but every once in a while we obviously it's a good group of guys that'll speak up, and we make it fun racing for everybody.
All right, and now as we wrap this up, what was that website again of the jerky?
Yeah, so clubjerky.com. That was Marshall Harhay, who's coming on board as a sponsor, and he'll help us out, and he's going to donate some jerky to our champions. So check him out. Check out his business, clubjerky.com, and our other sponsor, Hendrick's Home Improvements. I know Dave Ankenbauer's not with us tonight. He's usually on the podcast. But come in, check it out. We got a lot of free giveaways, a lot of good stuff going on, and always trying to make this league bigger and better and improving everything.
And as usual, our Facebook page seems to be like the center of everything. So for anyone out there who already isn't in Mayhem Racing League, just check it out on Facebook. Just punch it in, Mayhem Racing League. Give us a shout. Let us know you want to join, and we can help you get set up on the iRacing League directory. You can check that out as well.
Yeah, we thank you, Jordan, as well, and Wide World of Motorsports for sponsoring podcasts and coming on board of the league as well and being a big part.
Absolutely, gotta love the iRacing, and especially the league grind. Mayhem Racing League keeps me on my toes, and it's a blast. So thank you guys.
Yeah, I'd like to say thank you to everybody too, and I'm hoping someday I get to be the Michael McDonald of this league.
You will, man. You'll get one. You'll be there.
Make sure you check out the Mayhem Racing League on Facebook and iRacing League directories. Lots of cool stuff going on there. Lots of people posting their streams. So if you're interested in joining the league, check it out. And that's also where future and past episodes of the Mayhem Racing League podcast will be out. So check that out.